Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Welcome back to another episode of Orange Talk. Today, we got a special guest joining the show, Houston Dynamo 2 forward, Mattheo Dimareli. Mattheo, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Rudy.
Hey, you guys with Dynamo 2 got started on the right foot here. How did it feel to start the season, with that 2-0 win over Colorado Rapids?
To be honest, it felt great because I feel like that's what we expected. We had a really strong preseason. We have a really strong group compared to the past 2 years, at least that I've been here. And we were expecting a win, and we got the job done. So that was good.
Yeah, you played the full 90 minutes. How did you, personally feel to be out there and competing?
Great. It's my third season in D2, so I've been physically getting bigger and just, adapting. My body's been ready. So yeah, it was great to get 90 minutes. I think I had a decent game. The boys played well and we got the job done.
It's only one game, but what do you think the team, showed in the first match of the season, Mateo?
I think we showed the league what we're about, to be honest, that we're gonna be one of the stronger teams this year. We're gonna be up there on the table, and I feel like we can go a long way in playoffs this year.
And you mentioned it already, third season with the Houston Dynamo 2. How do you feel, you've grown as a player, apart from physically, but since your first year?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I feel like obviously, you know, I've been developing just regularly. It's my third year. I started off pretty young in D2, to be honest. And
Mhm.
just I've been getting used to it, getting used to the soccer life, every day of training, days off, not that many, and just yeah, keep going.
Yeah. In our regular podcast, me and Christian Puteria joked around about, it seems like you've been 16 forever. You've been 3 years there.
Yeah.
And we are just looking back and I'm like, man, it's crazy. Still 16. Um, but, how have you grown as well? Like, comfortable or, I guess in a comfortable way or a confident way in your development with the team and maybe as one of the leaders as well,
Yeah.
you would say?
Uh-huh. No, I agree. I think this year, obviously being in my third year, I'm not the young guy anymore,
Hmm.
basically. The coaches agree with me on that. The staff agrees with me on that. I'm one of the guys that, I know like what's going on and I can help lead some of the guys. If there's guys here that are younger than me, I can tell them a thing or two, give them advice. And I'm with the older guys now, I'm not separate with them anymore.
That's good. And obviously, you mentioned the coaching staff. You have been under three different coaches: Kenny Bundy, Marcelo Santos, and now Jeremy Hurdle with D2. What have you taken from each of them?
I think first off with Kenny, he was the one who initially gave me my first chance with D2. And I'm forever thankful for that. He gave me my first start with the team and it went well, to be honest. Marcelo, I had my second year with him. We had ups and downs throughout the season. We started off really strong. We took a took a step down after Diego got hurt that last year. But we ended off strong. I played a lot of minutes towards the end of the season and me and Marcelo ended off on a really good note. And with
And yeah,
Jeremy.
well, and I was just gonna build it up for you right there with, what is Jeremy Hurdle emphasizing, for you and to the group this season?
Yeah, me and him have known each other for a really long time. Ever since I came to Dynamo when I was a U15 here, he was my head coach, and we've basically gone up through the ranks together. So basically, when I first made my way to D2, he was making his way up as well. And now we're both here. Me and him, we talk all the time, and he does agree that I can be a leader on the field too. Even though I'm 16, doesn't matter. I've been here enough.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. Going into your playing style a little bit, obviously, as a cover of the team, we've seen you the 3 years that you've been with D2 and so forth. But for maybe fans who may not know your game yet, Mateo, how would you describe yourself, as a forward?
I would say for sure the first thing is left-footed and direct. I think when I get the ball, I don't like going back too much. I always want to go forward.
And I think one of the times we talked to Pat Onset, he just described you as a goal scorer as well. Like he's
Yeah.
like everywhere he goes, he seems to put, the goal in the back of the net for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, is that maybe something, you talk about your left foot, but
Mhm.
what is part of your game that you pride yourself the most, Mateo?
I think my 1v1 ability, and that's the thing that I want to keep sharpening every day. And I think it's very useful. Taking on defenders 1v1, not letting them be able to stop me. Well,
That's all right. We'll move on a little bit to the national team experience. Obviously during your academy career in Houston, you've been called up to both the U.S. and Mexico youth national teams. What does that experience mean to you? And maybe take us to maybe what is like, having that possibility of representing multiple countries as well.
yeah, to be honest, it's a big positive, first of all, some people only have one nationality, so it's there or nothing for me. It's different. I'm eligible for four different countries, but so far I've only represented Mexico and USA, but I think the experiences of going with both is really good. I get a taste of both things on both sides, even though they're rivalries.
Now you made me curious. Who are the other two that you could represent as well?
It's Albania, Greece, USA, and Mexico.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, did those opportunities obviously have helped you, or how have they shaped you as a player? Would be the correct question there.
I th I think they've helped me a lot with when you go to national team. I'm in moments a lot where there's a lot of pressure. For example, in Mexico, there was loads of people watching at the tournament that we played in, and just being in the national team environment is always helpful.
Okay, let's look forward to the match this weekend against Tacoma. What kind of challenge are you guys expecting, out of Defiance?
We're expecting a big challenge, to be honest. They've been a team that we go at it with every year. Last year, we had our last game against them and hoped to make playoffs, and they took us down pretty bad. So we're looking to get our get back for that, and we're going to be ready. Second home game, and We're looking forward to the same way that we're going to Colorado with, and we know we can get the job done.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit, obviously staying strong at home, but how important is that as well?
For sure, it's going to be really strong because we have our first four games this season are at home, and then we have an 11 game stream. So it's going to be important to make sure that we defend our home turf and get our wins here.
All right, Mateo, going into personal goals here, what are your personal goals, or personal goals that you have for the season specifically?
I think, to be honest, probably to be a big contributor to the team. If that means creating chances, scoring goals, giving assists, being the guy that like can create something for the team. If like for example, if we don't have momentum during the game, taking on a player and getting the ball in the box, creating a chance, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess how motivated are you too, seeing players quickly moving from Dynamo 2
Mhm.
to the first team? Obviously, we know the story with Mateo Arana, but even Agustin Resch,
Yeah.
fresh into the team, but it's already getting some minutes as well because of injuries.
Yeah. No, that's really good. I mean, it's obviously an example that there's nowhere else above the second team but the first team. So that shows if you're a good top player on the second team, the first team is the next step. That's where it's going to be.
Mateo, this has been fantastic so far, man. Let's just qu finish it off with some quick, fun questions, just so other, the fans can get to know you a little bit.
Mhm.
Uh, you score a lot of goals. We talked about it a lot, but what's been your favorite, goal that you've scored thus far in your career?
This to be honest, it's between.
I
I'm
thought you were gonna
debating.
give me like the next goal. The next goal is gonna be my favorite. That's
I'm debating between two right now. But to be honest, I think it's while I was playing for Mexico this past November, I had gone in the game around the 60th minute. We were tied 1-1 against Costa Rica. About like 4 or 5 thousand people watching us there in the game. And my first play, I got the ball and I scored in the 67th minute. So it was really good. It put us up 2-1 against Costa Rica, and we ended up winning the game 4-1. So to be honest, that was probably my favorite goal so far.
And I will say, I don't know if I remember like every single goal that I've seen from you, but I
Mhm.
remember the celebrations, man. You got hops. Like we always get pictures from Aldo and some
Uh-huh.
of the
Yeah.
photographers, and I'm like, man, that's some air time right there, man.
That's my signature. That's the jump up and punch in the air. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. All right, then favorite pregame music. What is Mattheo Dimareli listening to? I mean, I guess you have four nationalities, a lot of music that you can listen to, man.
Nah, usually I stick to English to rap music in English because that's my first language, obviously. But I really like listening to Lil Baby, Gunna, and Rack Baby pre-game. That helps me get tuned in, locked in, ready for that game.
Something bopping to get you ready.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you've also played in multiple stadiums, obviously around the U.S., around the world. But what is Di dream stadium to play in? Have you ever thought of that?
Mhm. To be honest, as of now, I think I think the Azteca in Mexico. So it's like a huge stadium, and that's where it's at. I would really want to play there one day.
And this one's always difficult. I put one word to describe Dynamo 2 team today. I mean, give me whatever you have, to describe Dynamo 2 for you.
Uh, Diverse, probably.
Like that. I like that. All right, Mateo. Last remaining here is any words you may have for, Houston Dynamo fans, maybe inviting them out to this weekends and, future Dynamo 2 matches as well.
No, I think, whoever can make it out to Dynamo 2 games, we love the support, the fans, whenever we hear stuff from the stands, it gets us hyped up, it gets us locked in, ready, and, it's a blessing to be able to play here at Dynamo in Houston. So yeah, whoever can make it out to the Dynamo 2 games, we really appreciate it.
That should be a fun one this weekend for sure. But Mateo, thanks again for joining us today. Best of luck to you and the Dynamo 2 squad this season.
Thank you, Rudy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Fans, be sure to come out and support the team. Catch Mateo in action. This is an episode 4 Orange Talk and the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.